What's up guys, my name is Captain Dave and welcome back to the Captain's Quarters, the video in which I go through and answer all of your questions and comments from last week's video. And let's get straight into this one, kicking it off with who said, ME3 is great Dave, never played the Eden Prime DLC, glad I could watch you play it. Yeah, I mentioned it in the playthrough as well, but that From the Ashes DLC, the one where you get Javik in Mass Effect 3, I found that was such a slap in the face that you had to purchase that as DLC, because I think Javik is just an essential crew member for Mass Effect 3, and I find it's quite a slap in the face you have to buy that. I mean, they had that straight off the bat when Mass Effect 3 was released, so I think a little bit money hoarding, but I mean, if you can get the DLC, I would greatly recommend it, because it is a good bit of DLC, and as you say, because you get a character unlocked from it, it's DLC that adds to the whole game. It's just not just like an hour or two worth of gameplay, it's the whole game can be revamped because you get new squad mate conversations and all that sort of good stuff. And actually, there's one mission later on in the game where Javik actually completely changes how the mission pans out, whereas if you'd brought another character. But anyway, Yusuf Yasir says, first and well, actually, you weren't first, so that's awkward. Dave, I have a question for you. Are you going to play The Last of Us? And also, I'm very ill and very bored, so thank you for making my day by uploading the Captain's Quarters. Oh, well, you're very welcome, and I hope you feel better. Am I going to be playing The Last of Us? I don't have the game. I am, as I always have been, very, very poor. So the chances of me getting the game anytime soon are very unlikely. If I do get the game, I've heard it's very good, so I might do a walkthrough of it. But I mean, this is a lot of ifs and a lot of mights. I don't think I'm even going to get the game, let alone then have time to play it and then do a walkthrough of it. I mean, I still have Beyond Two Souls, which I've had for about 4 or 5 months, and I haven't even played that yet. I haven't unwrapped it, and haven't really had the chance. So I would like to do a Last of Us, but it's very unlikely it would be any time soon. Johnny Hiko21 said, hey Dave, I want to ask you one question. What is your favourite male and female character in the Mass Effect universe? And mate, congrats on 10,000 subs. I hope you can get twice more to the rest of the year. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed. What is my favourite male and female character in the Mass Effect universe? Now that is a very hard question. And it says, oh, you know how bad I am at picking out favourites of stuff. I mean, and especially a game like Mass Effect, because you know how much I love that game. So that's a lot of people to pick from. But I don't know, favourite male character. It's gonna have to be someone who's obscure, like not one of the main crew or one of because I could easily say someone like Joker or Shepard or Garrus or Mordin or Grunt. Probably Grunt, actually. Yeah, I was gonna say someone obscure like the Volus, who's the biotic god, or the Batarian Preacher. I was going to say someone like that, but no, if I've got to pick, probably Grunt, actually. I love Grunt just way too much for him not to be my favourite. And favourite female character, I don't know, probably Jack. I love Jack. If you could have her as a squad mate in Mass Effect 3, I probably would have romanced her in Mass Effect 2, if I'm being totally honest. But, hey-ho, hey-ho. Nerve9410 said, Dave, what do you think about the Days of Future Past movie that's upcoming? Really excited, cannot wait. It's one of the main films that I want to see this year. So, extremely excited. That and Spider-Man. And Captain America, I suppose, as well. But yeah, very much excited. Yao Yin said, hey Dave, in most of your walkthroughs, you go for appearance rather than power, like in Mass Effect 2, where you stuck with the default armour instead of Cerberus armour, even though it increased your health by 10%. Just wondering, thanks. And the Cerberus armour didn't look too bad, at least that's what I think. The main reason why I didn't change the look, as you say, I go for appearance rather than like sort of the stats and stuff like that. It's kind of a bit of both. I like the way the default armour looked, anyway, like in appearance, and the fact that it boosted health by 10%, I felt there was no real need to change it. I mean, all the other armours, they kind of look alright, and sometimes it is nice to mix it up, especially with a really long game like that. But to be honest, everything gave my health an increase by 10%, and obviously, the less I die, the better, because the most irritating thing is when you're watching a walkthrough, it's a half-hour long video of just someone dying about 20 times. It's really irritating, so it's one of the reasons why I don't play on Insanity, because I'm trying to show you the story, I'm not trying to show how awesome I am, so that's why I just play on normal difficulty as well. But I like the way the normal armor looks anyway. I mean, like when you change it for like plus 10 shields or something like that, it just changes sort of the way it looks a little bit, but not too much. And it's also the same reason why I don't change the colour of any of the armors or put any patterns on or stuff like that. It's because, to be honest, it's like, I like the story and that sort of stuff, but when I see these other armors when they're like bright pink or bright blue, or they got these weird patterns on them, or even if you put them on more of a lighter colour so it isn't so in your face, I just find that, I don't know, I just didn't like any of them. I tried a combo once, like a blue and white combo. I thought it looked alright. I made like a really black one and like a really red one at one point, but I don't know, every time I'd see him on a mission, it just looked really silly. He looked like he was wearing a superhero outfit or something. I just couldn't get on board with another armor. I wasn't happy with it. And the same like with Cerberus armor and stuff like that. I think they look good, like the Collector armor, and there's which one is it? The Inferno armor, or is it the Terminus armor or something like that? It's like a red one. He looks like Iron Man, like a mixture of Iron Man and Ultron. I think they're really good, but the only reasons I don't wear stuff like the Cerberus armor and that stuff is you can't take the helmet off, which I think is silly, because when I'm in conversations, I really hate it. Like, this really cool cutscene, and you've just got a helmet blocking Shepard's face. I think it kind of ruins it. So that's the only reason. If they took off the helmet during cutscenes and stuff like that, then yeah, I probably would have used stuff like Cerberus armor and all that, but they don't. That only happens with your normal armor, so that's mainly the reason why I didn't switch up. I went quite in depth about that because I've had a lot of people on Mass Effect 3 right now answering that question. And I mean, as of right now, I'm down to the last 2 missions in Mass Effect 3, so I can't change. Like, the whole walkthrough's pretty much completed, nearly. Just got a few missions left, so that's something I can't change now. So I thought I'd actually go in depth about that and actually explain it for everyone else that's been wondering. That I hate that you can't take the helmet off, and I think that ruins cutscenes. Other than that, I'm a fan of the normal armor. I don't need to customize it because I like how it looks already. AJ Singh said, "Hi Dave, what is your funniest, best glitches ever in a game?" What is your worst and favourite game ever? And were you disappointed of Riddler side missions ending in Arkham Origins? I'm going to answer the last question first, actually. The Riddler side missions ending in Arkham Origins, I haven't actually finished. I had completed the game, but I hadn't completed all the Riddler side missions, and then, I don't know, I just stopped playing, and then I figured I'll just do it when I do the walkthrough. But no, I haven't actually completed every Riddler side. I mean, like, I've done all the, what do you call it? I can't even remember what the side missions were like, but I haven't completed the side missions, like every single one, like got all the Riddler trophies and all that. I haven't done that yet. So, yeah, I don't actually know yet. But what's my funniest and best glitches in a game ever? The first one that's coming to mind is Kasumi in Mass Effect 2. Where Shepard, Garrus and Kasumi were trying to get the Reaper IFF, and they met Legion. And Kasumi was stuck in a squatting position, going like forwards and backwards the whole time. And I'm running along, and she's just literally just squatting, like twerking her way along this Reaper. That that definitely tickled me a little bit. There's been some other glitches in games that have really made me laugh as well. I can't think what they are, but the number one that's coming to my head right now is Kasumi, probably because it's the most recent. But no, that really cracked me up when that happened. I thought that was hilarious. But other stuff like that, it's normally when you kill people and they're left in funny positions or some stuff like that. But no, Kasumi's the one that's coming to my mind at the moment. And what's your worst and favourite game ever? Favourite game ever has got to be the Mass Effect trilogy. If you wanted me to pin it down to one, it would probably be Mass Effect 2, but Mass Effect 1 would be very close behind it. Worst game ever? I don't know. Hard to pin down just one game that's the worst game ever, because normally if it's that bad, I don't play it for that long, so it's hard to sort of differentiate between which one's the worst one. I don't know. Out of the worst games I've ever played, I don't know. I honestly, if I've bought the game, it can't have been that bad. I'd never go out, like, I always look online normally before I buy a game, so out of the ones I've got, they're all alright. I hated Dead Island. I thought that was just the bullshit of a game. It was just horrible. Everything about it was horrible. I don't know. Yeah, I can't really think about a worst game I've ever really played. It's probably something like old that I had on like the PS2 or something like that. It's probably one of those kind of games. There's nothing really at the top of my mind that I can think of that I was playing and I just hated it that much. I mean, obviously I'm not a fan of Web of Shadows. but that's definitely not the worst game ever. But no, worst, can't really think of one. I wouldn't have bought it if it was that bad. So, Ethan Brown, Jesus, I remember your Bad Rain series. I'm guessing you mean Heavy Rain series. I started right at the end, actually. But Dave, can you please do a Falcon Punch somewhere? It has not been done yet. No go Falcon Punch. I've done a lot of Shepherd Punches. In Mass Effect, there are a hell of a lot of Shepherd Punches in that walkthrough, trust me. And if you haven't seen that many yet, there are plenty more to come. But if you missed the old Falcon Punch, then I guess that I can just drop in a Falcon Punch for you right there. So it sounds really weird shouting that about the gameplay in my ears. I realise how I actually sound when I say it. Mr. Candyman13 said, Spider Dave, first off, congratulations on your 10,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. My question to you this week is a Mass Effect question. If you had to choose 3 optional attacks, example slam, which one would you choose and why? Ooh. Also, outside the world of YouTube, I hope your family and friends are well. How's the weather out there? Oh, thank you very much. My family and friends, they're doing just fine, and the weather out here is appalling. It's just raining 24/7, and there's floods, and yeah, it's standard winter in England. To be honest with you, it's just terrible. Which isn't really much different from the autumn or the spring either. We get about 3 weeks of summer where it's quite nice, but which other ones attacks would I have other than slam? Not lash. What's it called? Flare is a really good one. You only have that available in Mass Effect 3 if you have the Omega DLC. But Flare is a really good one, but it has a huge cooldown, so I wouldn't. That's why I never chose it. I've kind of done a few missions once using Flare, and I liked it, but the cooldown was just so huge. You'd only be able to do like one biotic attack like every 15 seconds or something like that, which doesn't sound that long, but when you're in combat, it's a long time. Yeah, Slam is a funny one that I like to use. Flare's cool. Trying to think of something a little bit different. No, you're obviously not Reeve, because that's the one I'm using now. I don't know. I would like to choose something different, like an energy drain or something like that, because all my abilities are biotic abilities, or like their charge or something like that. So it would be nice to have a tech one, something like Overload or something like Energy Drain. They would be quite nice. So yeah, I might pick something different like that. So I'd probably have Flare, Slam, and maybe something different like Energy Drain, maybe, just to have something different. So yeah. Saturnaria said, what happens when you run out of gas in Mass Effect 3? I know in Mass Effect 2, when you run out of gas, all the minerals and stuff that you mine, they start becoming depleted, because you end up using all the minerals and all that stuff that you use to upgrades. You end up spending that to get back to another fuel port. So when you run out of things, so that's why you really don't want to run out of gas, because the whole reason you go around these planets is to mine minerals. And when you run out of gas, then you end up wasting a load of them going back to a fuel station. So normally the last fuel station you're at as well, so then you still have to travel to wherever you were trying to go. In Mass Effect 3, I'm not sure. I've never run out of gas in Mass Effect 3. I can probably assume the same. Maybe you lose war assets, or maybe you just lose credits or something. Who knows? But yeah, Mass Effect 3, you lose minerals and all that sort of stuff that you'd mine. Mass Effect 2 even, sorry. Ethan Brown, Black Panther is in Avengers 3 and Heroes for Hire TV series. I wasn't even aware there was a Heroes for Hire TV series. I'm assuming that's a cartoon. And Black Panther's in Avengers 3, fair enough. That'd be cool. I'm really hoping for like a Civil War Avengers 3 or something like that. That'd be lovely. But Donny Hunt said, hey Dave, just wanted to say congratulations on the 10,000 subs. Thank you very much. I've been with you since 4,000 and it's nice to see your channel growing. Keep up the good work. Yeah, thank you very much. It's actually growing quite quickly as of late. It's actually thinking about what the number represents. It's quite daunting. Since like my last video where I just hit 10,000, I think I'm up to 10,400, 10,500 at the moment. It's growing really quickly. Like, I don't know why either, but I'm not gonna knock it. I'm happy it is, but yeah, it's growing quite quick. It's actually quite daunting to think how many people that actually is. Like, it's easy just to think of it as a number, but you actually think that's 10,000 people. It's it's quite a daunting thing to think of. But Seth Hampton said, have you had a glitch in Arkham Origins yet? I had one where all the bad guys were underground and I had to start over. Anyway, please put up Origins. I've been waiting. Yes, I'll be getting on Origins soon. As I say, I've only got a couple of missions left to record in Mass Effect 3. I was just finishing off the Citadel DLC before I started recording this. But yeah, once that's finished, I'm going to start uploading recording Origins, and I'll get Origins uploaded as soon as I've started recording it. I won't be waiting around or anything. So as soon as I've started recording Origins, that will be going up straight away, just like it used to, where Origins will be uploaded every other day and Mass Effect every day. So just like the old system used to be. But I just want to get Mass Effect 3 recorded, done and dusted, and just sitting on my computer waiting to upload. It's such a long series. So, but yeah, as I say, I've only got a couple of missions in Mass Effect 3 left to actually record, and then after that, I'll be starting on Origins and Lego Marvel and everything else that I want to do. So the wait hopefully won't be much longer, at a month maximum, I'd say, at maximum. Michael Eyston said, Seth Hampton also mentioned about the glitches. No, I haven't actually seen any glitches. The one where bad guys or yourself fall through the floor, that happens quite a lot. I think that's to do where like two objects haven't quite been connected and you slip through the cracks. But no, I haven't had that yet. You know, touch on wood, I haven't had that yet. Especially since our Mass Effect's Batman's one of those games where you can't hard save, it just auto saves. So if something like that goes wrong, you can't just go back. If you see what I mean, you're kind of stuck. Michael Eyston said, "Thanks for the advice. I will look into a Marvel website now and have a look." Yeah, let me know how that worked out for you, because it was a week ago I gave you this advice. So if that's worked out for you and you've actually like it, then yeah, great. But yeah, Michael Eyston, let me know how that worked out for you. Mr. Candyman 13 said, "Sorry, the game I recommended was red. It was not red, it's wet." Oh yeah, I think I've heard about wet. Red is a movie, a video game is wet. I do apologise. Yeah, I think I heard a little bit about wet before in the past. The Ninth Path said, "Sup, Dave? What's up? Got a few questions for you." Oh, you do have quite a few questions, don't you? Okay, let's go through this one at a time. What do you think of a wrestling game with Marvel superheroes like Hulk, Thing, Juggernaut, or Spider-Man? I think it'd be quite funny if someone like modded SmackDown versus Raw, or any of the WWE games. I suppose they're not even called that anymore, are they? They're just called WWE 13 or whatever. They're not even. Oh, see, showing my age. They're not even SmackDown versus Raw anymore. But I think it'd be quite funny if someone modded one of them, so you had all like Hulk and Thing. I have seen stuff online where there's like they've uploaded codes for character appearance, so that it looks like Hulk, Thing, Juggernaut, Thor, all that sort of stuff. Some of them are actually quite funny, but I think it'll be alright. But to be honest, a wrestling game, if it was a wrestling game with Thing and Hulk and all that, it would basically be like SmackDown. Like their powers wouldn't really come into it too much, so it would just be they would look like those characters, and that'd pretty much be it. But then if they actually had the powers and abilities, then it'd probably turn into more of like a Mortal Kombat, Marvel vs. Capcom thing. So I think it'd be funny, it'd be a unique idea, but I can't exactly see myself getting too into it. If someone made a Wolverine game similar to Ultimate Spider-Man with Wolverine and Sabretooth, how would you make the gameplay? A good name for a game should be Wolverine, Sabretooth, Feral Predators. I'm not quite sure, because obviously the way it works with Spider-Man and Venom is they've kind of got... I don't know, you could actually, yeah, because I was about to say they turn into one another, but they don't. Venom's something completely separate. So, I don't know. You could make it so like when you're Sabretooth, you're doing something bad, and then when you're Wolverine, you're trying to find out who's doing it when really you know it's Sabretooth, and then you can make them sort of clash at the end, kind of like it did in Ultimate Spider-Man. So, yeah, I think that would be doable. I think it would be an alright sort of game as well. Although the one thing that made Ultimate Spider-Man good was everyone wanted to be Venom, and I've never really seen a huge bunch of people just crying out to have a game where they're Sabretooth. But I still think it would be quite cool. How would you write Spider-Man's return after the Superior Spider-Man arc, since Doc Ock has pretty much changed so much of his life? As I say, I don't know. Last thing I ever read was Amazing Spider-Man, where he quote-unquote died. So I haven't read any of Superior Spider-Man, but I have heard that Amazing, like, Peter Parker's coming back. Like, although technically I've heard he never left, but I've heard he's coming back and he's like running the show again soon. So I might read Superior Spider-Man's, try and catch myself up. But no, I can't really speak how to write his return, because I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's going on with the story arc that much. I'm guessing it's kind of like, in a sense, it's kind of like a brand new day in a way. where everything was completely different. They could add new characters, take out characters, stuff like that. And they kind of done it, but in a different way. It's like they've instead of taking us out of the situation and bringing us into a whole new world for Peter Parker, they've taken Peter Parker out, and now they're going to put him into a whole new world. So he should know everything that's gone on, but it's like, will he be able to keep up with the life? Like, if it's now his brain instead of Doc Ock's. So it's just like, will he be able to keep up with the life that's been set for him? So I think it would be interesting, but obviously I couldn't say how it should be done because I don't know anything about Superior Spider-Man as of yet. Do you think Iceman will ever be the guy to beat the next big bad guy? I would love it. I'd love it to be. I'd buy and read an Iceman standalone. Like, if he had his own series, like Wolverine got, or like Spider-Man has, or anything like that. If Iceman had one, just his own comic, I'd read it. I'd definitely read it, but I can't think there'll be too many people like me that would, so I doubt they ever would. But no, I'd definitely read an Iceman thing. I don't think they're ever going to make Iceman single-handedly like solo a boss, but I'd love to read. I'd love it if they made their comic just about Iceman. Seb Carrasco said, Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game trailer, super cool, a Let's Play in the future. Oh, definitely a Let's Play in the future, without a doubt. I think I actually saw that Amazing Spider-Man video trailer thingy because you told me about it. Like, I read this comment a week ago, or maybe because somebody else told me about it. I can't remember. But so while we're on the topic as well, I watched the Amazing Spider-Man 2 movie trailer, like the second movie trailer the other day. I am so excited for that film, just without doubt. Munom, is that how you say your name? Said, hi Dave. Here. Munom are to Portuguese words that mean my name in English. Oh, right, fair enough. So Munom mean my name in Portuguese, fair enough. And yes, I'm Portuguese, so you have people watching you in Portugal, and you can call me John. Alright, so from now on I'll call you John instead, saves me butchering your name. Are you going to play Assassin's Creed game, or maybe the Saga? Probably not. I've heard a lot about those games, I've seen a lot of gameplay, and it does look like a fun game. It's just, unfortunately, it's just not my cup of tea. It could be one of those things potentially down the road I do, but as of right now, I have no intent on playing the game just yet. So maybe one day down the line, but for the time being, probably no. Yusuf Yasir said, and also I just remembered, are you going to play the new Mad Max game? I never knew there was an original Mad Max game. I've seen a bit of a film once and thought it was pretty funny, but I never knew there even was a Mad Max game, let alone a new one, so I can probably safely say no. Seb also said, you should also try changing up your armor in ME3. There's some pretty cool stuff there. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I'm happy with what I've got, and I've pretty much recorded everything now, so I'm afraid there is no switching left to be done. Alexander said, congrats on the subscription milestone, man. You're both funny and serious at times, and you've made me laugh at some points. Question for you, which superhero movie of 2014 do you want to see the most? Well, first off, thank you very much. Yeah, I try and keep a nice balance of funny and serious stuff. I mean, most of the time you want to be entertained, but there are some points in a game where it's quite serious, and it's such a beautiful point in the game. Like, it's really well done, and I think if I just cracked a fart or made a joke right after something serious has happened, it kind of sucks the whole point out of me playing the game, you know, if I ruin like a really serious emotional moment. So yeah, I try and keep a nice fine line between funny and serious. So, but I'm glad I make you laugh. If I've made one person laugh, then mission accomplished. But which superhero movie in 2014 do you want to see the most? Oh, that's hard. It's between Days of Future Past and Amazing Spider-Man 2. But it's like Days of Future Past, I think it's going to be awesome, but I just can't say no to my love of Spider-Man. So if you're tying me down and I absolutely have to pick, I'd say Spider-Man. But I mean, X-Men is literally like a tiny wafer thin part of skin below it. You know, it's just like, it is right there. It's almost wearing like Spider-Man as a mask. It's that close. But no, if I had to pick Spider-Man, but no, X-Men as well, I'm so excited for. The Captain Junior said, awesome Dave, and will you ever try Skate 2 again, like when you were part of Geek Space? Oh yeah, oh yeah, I forgot about that video. No, that was the first and only time I've ever played any skate game, was when I was when I played that with Geek Space. Oh, I totally forgot about that video. I'm glad you reminded me. But no, I would not be playing Skate. That was the one and only time I've ever played that game. But it was funny. Sometimes it is funny just to play something completely out your comfort zone and have a laugh. So, Jim Jenks said, "Hi Dave, thanks for liking the Spider-Man 2 gameplay trailer. I wouldn't have found it without that. So what are your thoughts on Kraven being in the game?" I think it's an interesting twist. I like that. It's the fact they're not bringing... Obviously the game does have, as we saw, like some enemies from the main game. But I like how they just haven't copied main game from the main film. But I like how they just haven't got the film, copied it, and blah de blah de blah. I like how they make the game a sequel to the film. I think that's quite interesting. But as I say, I won't be playing the game until after I've seen the film, because the game normally comes out first, and I don't want it to ruin the movie for me. So, but I think one thing that I saw a lot of people arguing in the comment section, because I don't know, people are on those sort of videos, they just get really angry for some reason. They think that their answer is the only answer and everyone else is wrong. But I was looking at a lot of people commenting saying how it looks stupid that Spider-Man's been mentored by Kraven and blah 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 and all this sort of stuff. And I think they fell for what the trailer was trying to do. Because at least from my perspective, I could be completely wrong. I mean, when the game comes out, we'll find out. But from my perspective, it sounds like Kraven is actually training somebody else to beat Spider-Man. But the way they make the trailer, it makes it look like he's talking to Spider-Man. And at one point, they put Kraven standing next to Spider-Man, both looking off into the distance. So it looks like he's training Spider-Man. But I actually think that's completely different. I think actually in that scene, he has got Spider-Man captured, and they've just put that scene there to make you think he's training Spider-Man, but I actually think he's training somebody to take down Spider-Man. That's my opinions on it. I mean, watch the trailer again, you'll see what I mean. At one point the camera turns around and you see Spider-Man and Kraven standing next to each other. To me, it looks like Kraven's got Spider-Man captured, and that's why they're standing next to each other. Or Spider-Man has to go there because, like, he's probably got someone he cares about trapped or something like that. But that's my opinion. I think the trailer, they've tried to make it look like Kraven's teaching Spider-Man, but I think it's actually the opposite. I think he's teaching someone to take down Spider-Man. And they're just trying to trick you a little bit with the trailer to make it interesting. But that's my personal opinion. But that's what I think. I think it's quite a good thing. I wouldn't want to watch Kraven in the film. I think that'd be boring as all hell. I know he was a big character in the Amazing comics. But seems how the Amazing film seems to be following the Ultimate storyline, for as weird as that is, Kraven was not really that big a part of it, so I wouldn't like to see a film of Kraven in. So yeah, I'll settle for a game, that's good. Jim Jenks also asked, "Thanks for answering my question, Dave. Have you ever played any game as Femshep?" No, I haven't. I was thinking about doing it, but I'm watching a live stream. I think I mentioned this last week, actually. I was watching... I pop in and out of watching a live stream, and they're playing as Femshep at the moment, so it's quite good. I did a Mouseshep Paragon, and they're doing a Femshep Renegade, so best of both worlds. He's actually quite a few people agree with this, but they always say that Mouseshep is best for the Paragon route, but if you're playing Renegade, they always say be Femshep, because everyone just says that her voice fits the Renegade choices, and the way she delivers the lines for the Renegade choices is so much better. And I love Mark Meer. I mean, I've got him in my channel trailer. You know how much I love Mark Meer. But yeah, Femshep, she delivers those Renegade lines to so much better. For the most part, there are some where Mark Meer just knocks it out of the park. But yeah, Femshep, she's definitely good for the Renegade walkthrough. Jim Veneer said, "The Mass Effect 3 will definitely be longer than Mass Effect 2 because of all the DLC character and side missions and quite a long story. It should be fun." Yes, it is definitely going to be a lot longer than Mass Effect 2. I mean, Mass Effect 2 was 214 parts. I think it was 212 parts and then got up to 14 episodes with little extra things. But I mean, right now I'm looking... right now, out of the raw footage I've recorded, I've got up to part 50 at the moment. Bearing in mind, every single one of these parts could be anywhere between 2 or 3 minutes to 2 hours long. So you got to think, if there's 50 parts of videos that could be potentially an hour long each, or like 15-20 minutes each, imagine how long the walkthrough is actually going to be. It's going to be well over 100. I could easily hazard a guess it could hit the 150 mark. I'm just guessing. But no, Mass Effect 3 is going to be a hell of a long walkthrough. I mean, just this Citadel DLC that I'm recording right now, that's just gone over 3 hours. No, way over 3 hours, thinking about it. Just the section I recorded today was 3 hours. There was a section I recorded the other day, which was also 3 hours. So it's just like, that's just a bit of DLC that I'm recording right now that's taken nearly 6 hours. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely a much, much longer game. But yeah, that's why I want to get it all done and recorded now, so then that way I can just start focusing on some other games and let that just constantly be uploaded every day. But yeah, no, it's from what I've got so far recorded for you guys, it's a hell of a ride and you're going to love it. It's gone very, very well. Blast Eye Studio said, I'm thinking about having Miles being in Spider-Man 4 maybe. Prowler could be his mentor and be played by Danny Glover or Samuel Jackson. Also 51st State is a film. Yeah, 51st State is a film, and it's quite a funny film as well. But yeah, who is the Prowler? I'm drawing a blank. Isn't like the Prowler Miles Morales' uncle or something like that? I've read like the first few issues of Ultimate Spider-Man with Miles in, so I believe the Prowler was his uncle or something like that, if I remember rightly. But I think that would be an interesting turn. I mean, if Andrew Garfield doesn't want to be Spider-Man after Spider-Man 3 and he's just been signed for those films, if they did do the route where he gets killed off in the third film and a new Spider-Man's formed, that's a very brave move for the film company to do. Because I can imagine a lot of people who haven't read Ultimate Spider-Man and know nothing about Spider-Man seeing that and just being like, what the hell are they doing? This is stupid. They've now changed him again, blah, 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 blah. Being ignorant to facts because they can't actually go off and research something themselves, can they? But no, I think if in the fourth one they had Spider-Man get killed and then they brought in Miles Morales as the new one and stuff like that, it would be very brave, and I'll definitely give it a watch. I think it would be interesting, at least. But if I would be very happy if they decided to go on further with Andrew Garfield, because I love Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I think he's just doing a superb job. And if they wanted to keep him on for 4, 5, 6 films, whatever, just make it go as long as they like, I'd be happy with it, as long as the content is still as good as they've been delivering so far. Mega Silver 117 said, "Hey Dave, I have an ABC question for you. What is your favourite Shepherd Punch? A. Shepherd Punch in Mass Effect 1, B. Shepherd Punch in Mass Effect 2, C. Shepherd Punch leading to the Shepherd Headbutt in Mass Effect 3, or D. Your Biotic Charge and Nova Shepherd Punch." Oh! There's too much Shepherd Punchy goodness to choose from. Well, C, the Shepherd Punch leading to the Shepherd Headbutt, just in case anyone's forgot about that. Or in case, I don't know if I've got to that part in the walkthrough yet with you guys. But that's with the news reporter, Angelina Gelante, or however you say her name. And I don't know, it's kind of hard to choose. I mean, the Biotic Charge, Nova, Shepherd Punch, that's just, I was waiting the whole trilogy to do that. That's just, that's a great Shepherd Punch. But I don't know, there is something to be said for the Shepherd Punch in Mass Effect 1. I don't know if it's just because the first time you see it, but the way Shepard in Mass Effect 1 does it, he just completely takes her off guard with that right hook. And you see him proper throw his fist back as well. It's like, he really puts some power into that one. Just hooks it round and she spins to the floor. It's just, it's brilliant. Mass Effect 2 one was alright, but I mean, he was already going pretty renegade working with Cerberus as it was, so it wasn't too much of a surprise. I don't know, I'm going to have to go with the Mass Effect 1 Shepherd Punch, to be honest with you. It was between A and D, like the Biotic Charge one or the Mass Effect 1, but the Biotic Charge is cool, but you do it all the time and you can just keep spamming it, and it's cool, it looks cooler, but there's just something about that Mass Effect 1, it's nostalgia or something. It's just such a clean right hook, it's just so funny. It's just, that'll just never get old, as far as I'm concerned. Charles Taylor Coe said, "Congrats on 10,000 subs, Cap. Glad I could be one." Hey, I'm glad you're one as well. That guy, the Great, said, "If 1,000 subs was the actual cake, that is one creamy cake." Oh boy. Yeah, man. Don't stop talking about food. You're gonna get me hungry. And I've still got many a question to answer. The Ninth Path said, "One more question, Dave. What if BioWare..." Okay, my computer just did something weird then. What if BioWare was asked by Marvel to make a Mass Effect like X-Men game where you can customize your own mutant from appearance, powers, background and allegiance? Do you think it would be great? If BioWare asked Marvel to make a Mass Effect game, if the game became a reality, what would your mutant powers, background, allegiance be like? Mine would be like a mega level telekinetic with healing factor, trained to kill rogue. Weapon X. Dave, you should try fried turkey at least once. You might like it. Okay, fair enough. So you're basically saying if they BioWare are. I was asked by Marvel. Okay, fair enough. So basically, they wanted BioWare to make a Marvel game, which is like Mass Effect. Okay, I'm with you. I don't know. How many powers can you have? Omega level telekinetic with healing factor, trained to kill rogue at Weapon X. I would make mine have a nice boring ass background, just like normal person, absolute. Because I've always loved that about X-Men, how they're just like when they're a normal person, they haven't come from like some special spec ops thingy. They're just some normal average Joe, and then they get their powers. I've always loved that. So mine would be a normal average Joe kind of person. That's probably why I chose Shepard to be the spacer background, because I wanted him to just be a normal person before it all kicked off. I didn't want him to have like slavers kill his family or anything like that, or have a hard, rough life on the streets. I just wanted him to be a normal person before it all went down. But yeah, so he'd be normal right at the start. He'd probably have teleportation would be cool, but I've got to go with the Iceman powers. Love the Iceman powers. Yeah, actually, yeah. It seems like you can have two abilities. You've got the Omega level telekinetic and healing factor. I'd go Iceman powers and also the ability to teleport. Or maybe, no, much better. He's like, what's that guy's name? He's an enemy. But basically, he can create like fire, or he can create ice. He's like one of the two. He can make both. I forget his name. He's an enemy in X-Men, or in one of those comics. But yeah, I'd have like powers like that. But before he's just like a normal ass guy. But yeah. Yusuf Yasir said, Dave, and also which games company are you hoping to work for? Any company that would hire me. Honestly, I mean, obviously I've still got another 2.5 years before I graduate from university. But when I do, I'm not picky. Any local or fairly local place that will take me on, I'll be happy. Obviously, if I do really well and I've got some options, then I'll pick and choose. But the way the economy is right now, I'll just be happy to get a decent job out of it. And then once I have a job, then I can start looking and picking and choosing. I mean, like, dream job kind of thing. I mean, something like BioWare would be awesome. Getting to make games like this would be fantastic. I would never, ever want to work on a Mass Effect game, because I love those games so much, and I'd never want the story to be ruined for me. I love playing them, so I wouldn't ever want to work on the game, because it would just kill it for me. But yeah, maybe something like BioWare. I don't know. I kind of like those games. I'm honestly not too fast. I really don't have a preference. I'll just be happy to have a job at the end of it. So, Yusuf Yasir said, Dave, what if Mass Effect 4 is during the Prothean Wars? What, when the Protheans were against the Reapers? That would be alright, but I mean, the Reaper thing's kind of been done now. Unless you were talking about like when the Protheans, had the Jut and the Jutil or anything like that. But I don't know. As far as I know, they said that it's going to be completely separate. It's gonna still stick with the lore and the characters. Basically, it's not going to be anything to do with anything Shepard's done. So I think they're also staying clear of like the Ratnai Wars, the Krogan Wars, First Contact. I think they're trying to steer clear of everything, and they're just staying in that universe but making a new thing happen. And they said it's not going to be on such a large scale. It's not going to be like saving the galaxy. It's just going to be like maybe they're just on Omega or just on one colony or something like that. But I don't know. We're going to have to see and wait and see what happens, I guess. Thanks, Dave. Oh, actually, no. Before I move on, there is one more thing I wanted to say. I did hear a rumour, or some stories and stuff, but because they've got the new engine, they're working on the new Frostbite engine for Mass Effect 4. They said they're going to add a lot more diversity. So whereas the humans have different facial structures and stuff like that, but the Solarians, the Turians, whatever, they all look pretty much the same, except for they might add a scar or some face paint. Well, what they said they're going to do in Mass Effect 4 is they're going to make everybody unique. Like humans are. Like, we all are humans, but we all have different facial structures. Our bone structure is different heights. Like, some have big noses, some have small, some have big ears, blah, blah, blah. They said they're going to do that. So the Solarians are going to be Solarians, but they all have different shapes. So one might have a really long head, one that might have more of a round head, different heights. Because you notice how all the Solarians and Krogans and Turians are all the same height as well. So they're going to do stuff like that make it different. So like Some of the Turians might look different, you know. I think that's good. They said with this new engine, they're going to be able to do that. And they're going to be able to make a lot more diversity, which I think is going to make the game just so much better. And hopefully, because the trilogy's done, they won't be rushing to bring it out, so they can make it nice and polished and just make it a beautiful game. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know, these big companies tend to like to completely ruin stuff like that. And I'm not talking about BioWare here, I'm talking about EA. BioWare are lovely. I love BioWare. But it's EA, I think, sort of pushing them to get the release. Anyway, I'm sidetracked. Yusuf Sears said, thanks Dave, but there was no need for the message or your apology. Oh, you're talking about the birthday message I gave you last week. No. There was all the need for that. All the need. I thought it might be funny just for you to get that birthday message and then listen to this video and then hear me type the birthday message. Who knows? Vladex94 said, hey Dave, happy 10,000 subs. Thank you very much. Continue doing what you're doing and please, please, please show us your face. I will continue doing what I'm doing, but the face reveal, not anytime soon, unfortunately. As I've said in the past, I'm not grotesquely hideous or anything like that. I'm quite an average, if not quite ruggedly handsome, good-looking guy. But no, I'm just not interested in putting my face out there just yet. I probably will in the future, though. But now I'm giving you questions. Right, let's go through these one at a time. Number 1, will you play Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and the 3DS? I will not. I don't have a Wii U and I don't have any recording equipment for the 3DS. Recording it with like a HD camera can just look really funky. Like the quality, like the focus can just get blurred at any moment, and then you move your DS and it's all being taken out of shape. And I'm not willing to pay a couple of £100 to get some recording equipment for it. So no to Super Smash Bros. 2, what console will you buy in the future? PS4 or Xbox One? Honestly, no idea. I have no intention of buying any one of them anytime soon. So, no idea. Everyone, even people who were like Xbox fanboys, are saying the PS4's better. So, all my mates are saying the PS4's better. So, probably that maybe in the future. As I said, the only reason I got an Xbox in the first place was so I could play Mass Effect. Only for the game to get released on PlayStation a week later. But, yeah, maybe PS4, but I'm not going to buy either one of them anytime soon. Number 3, have you seen Amazing Spider-Man 2 video game trailer? If not, check out on YouTube. 7webs has, they know it, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I have seen it, and yes, it looks cool. As I said earlier, I mentioned about it earlier. And 4, and the last but not least, are you a brony? I know I'm not. No, I am not a brony. I'm accepting and open about a lot of things, but bronies I just do not get. Jim Jenks said you should look up LOTR, Shadow of Mordor gameplay. No, Lord of the Rings even, sorry, Shadow of Mordor gameplay. It's an RPG coming out this year, and by the looks of it, I'd like to see you play it. Just a suggestion. Yeah, there's a lot of things I've been looking into like that, like Dragon Age. A lot of people have been telling me to look into, and I am looking into that sort of stuff. But I'm just not a huge fan of that era, like Dungeons, Dragons, all that sort of stuff. I just thous protest. I'm just like, oh. I find I have to concentrate just to understand what they're saying, but maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just dense. Michael Smooth said, congratulations on 10,000 subscribers. Glad to be one. Thank you very much. Glad you are one. You've only got 2 questions this time. Do you know why Javik was DLC instead of being in the main game? Nope, I have no idea. I've got 2 theories. Maybe one that EA was pushing for that release date so much they didn't have time to put him in the game. That's one of them, so they made him DLC. The second one is by not putting him in the game and making him such a pivotal character in the game, they then get themselves an extra $10 /£10, €10, whatever, off every single person who paid like £40 for the game. They get an extra £10 or whatever off of them afterwards. So it could be greed or it could be the sheer lack of time. I don't know, but either way, I feel he should have been in the game. I don't think he should have been DLC. It's such a huge part of the game. It wasn't like Zaid or Kasumi, which were cool to have in the game, but they weren't needed. Javik, as far as I'm concerned, makes the whole story so much better. And I think the fact that you could potentially play the game without him being in it is just ridiculous, to be honest. At some point down the line, when you're done all your planned walkthroughs, could you do another walkthrough of the Mass Effect trilogy, this time the exact opposite of everything you've done this time? Playing as a renegade female that killed the Rachni Queen, killed Rex, saved Ashley, killed the Council, saved the Collector Base, etc, etc. I'm most likely in my spare time going to play the Mass Effect trilogy again. I mean, since playing this game, I found what is my favourite game. I can see myself constantly playing this over and over again. Whether I'm going to do another walkthrough of it, I'm not sure. Probably unlikely. It's mainly because, let's face it, coming this April, it will be a year since I uploaded the first episode of Mass Effect 1. I mean, this has been over a year in the making, this entire trilogy, and there's been daily uploads for a year. I mean, yeah, there was quite a big break over Christmas, but yeah, think of how long it's taken to get this trilogy done. I mean, obviously, if I was to do it again, I wouldn't exhaust all the dialogue options, and I wouldn't do the side missions, probably. I'd probably just do the main missions just to get the bulk of it done. And again, by doing that, you'd get to see different consequences, because there'll be people that would die because I haven't done side missions and stuff like that, so that would be quite interesting, I guess. I don't know, I think if I was to ever do it again, I might stream it as opposed to upload to YouTube. Because I do have a Twitch account that I've never ever used other than to watch other people's live streams. But I'd have to get recorded. I'd have to get like I think I need something like XSplit or something like that. I need to get all that sorted first. But no, streaming is something I've always thought about doing in the future. So if I ever do decide to stream, like on Twitch TV, then that would probably be a huge candidate to play through Mass Effect again, and this time just do everything completely different. I'll customise my face, I'll choose armours, I'll just kill people, just be a general Shepard is a jerk kind of character. But yeah. Peter Moore said, "Hey Dave, congrats on 10,000 subscribers. Big fan," in capitals, so he's a big fan. Yeah, thank you very much. Just wondering when and if you are going to do Batman Arkham Origins. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm so close to finishing Mass Effect 3 now, like recording it. So as soon as I have, I'll be starting on Batman Arkham Origins, and as soon as I get anything recorded, I'll begin uploading it. As I say, I won't be waiting until I've got quite a bit. As soon as I've got the first episode edited and rendered, it's going up straight away. Oh, and Peter Moore just said, "Just watch this video, disregard the last comment." Oh, sorry mate, I've already answered it. Oh well, fair enough. But there you go, you get the answer again. Peter Moore said, "Marvel vs DC, who would win?" Oh, bashing out the ultimate question. While we're there, we might as well throw out PS4 versus Xbox, and I don't know, chalk versus cheese? I don't know. I don't know where that come from. Marvel versus DC, I'm going to say Marvel. No reason why, just because I read Marvel and I don't read DC. There's no logic behind it. I'm just saying that. Carson Dickey said, "Dave, have you thought of playing a complete multiplayer game with your my scrubs? My subs?" I did way back when, a very long time ago. I only had like 70 or 100 subscribers. I did an open lobby of Call of Duty. Oh yes, I used to play the Call of Duties back then. I did an open lobby and stuff like that, but I don't know. I can't really think of a multiplayer game I'd want to play other than the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, but then that only frees up 3 extra slots. So, I don't know. I suppose, yeah, a Batman Arkham Origins. Like, oh yeah, that's a good idea actually. The Arkham Origins multiplayer. That's something I could actually do. Because you need a full party and you can never find a full party, so I don't know. As I said, stuff like this, the only reason I never do is not because I don't want to play with you guys. It's literally time. I don't have time to do hardly anything anymore. I really don't. So, even in regards to recording stuff, I just don't have the time. But yeah, that's something I would love to do one day. Because obviously I don't accept friend requests on my Xbox or something like that, just so I can have my friends on there and that's it. What I could do for like one day is like accept friend requests from you guys. Like, I'll release a video, let you guys know what's going on. Accept your friend requests, we'd play a whole bunch of games, and then I'd delete you, accept some different friend requests, and then play a bunch of games with them, and blah 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 blah, that sort of stuff. And yeah, record it, upload it. Yeah, that'd be quite fun, I think. But as of right now, I just definitely don't have the time. But no, that's good. That's a good thought for the future, actually. There, Carson. I'll definitely think that one. Alexander said, "Where is Get Over Here from?" That is initially from Mortal Kombat. I think it's Scorpion who says it. He like fires out some hook and pulls him over and shouts that. But yeah, it's just I found it just fit Batman and stuff like that so much better. Alexander said, I know this came out about 7 years ago, but will you play Spider-Man 3 the game? Very, very unlikely. I think I played those games when I was a kid, but I think Ultimate Spider-Man's about as far back as I'm going with the Spider-Man games, I think. Giovanni said, congratulations on 10,000 subs, Dave. You're the best. Thanks for the motivation, and I also wish you the best in your gaming career. Keep up the awesome work, man. Thank you very much. That's very nice. Mission Unstoppable 1 said, hi Dave, I am curious to see what ending you'll pick in Mass Effect 3. You want to give us some clues, or do we have to wait for a couple of months to find out? I'm fine with either one. Hope you have a great Christmas and a New Year. Hope you have a good Christmas and a New Year yourself, or had a good Christmas and a New Year. Unfortunately, I'm not going to give you any clues. You're going to have to just wait a few months to find out. You know what I'm like with my spoiler alerts. I don't like things to be spoiled for me, and I would hate to spoil something for someone else. So no, unfortunately, you can all, if you want to, I'll leave this as a question to you. If you guys want to speculate as to what you think I'm going to pick at the end of Mass Effect 3. Well, actually, no, don't. Oh, no. I was going to say, yeah, what if you guys want to sort of get a little poll going in the questions or which one you think I'm going to pick. But in actual fact, don't, because if there's someone who hasn't played Mass Effect 3, I don't think, if you're picking out the 3 endings, or there's actually 7 endings technically, but if you're picking out all the endings, then it's going to kind of ruin it for them. So, in actual fact, don't. But I mean, if to yourself you want to kind of have a guess and then tell me after the ending, then fair enough. But yeah, I wouldn't want it ruined for anybody else. MasterKill492 said, hey Cap, how's it going, man? I was wondering if you knew by any chance, if you knew how to fix a laptop. When I plug mine in, it shuts off. If you can respond to this ASAP, it would help me out a lot, man. No idea. Technology tends to hate me quite a lot. So the best thing I think, when you plug it in, it shuts off. No idea. Maybe I can only assume an issue with the battery. Maybe something short circuiting. I mean, I use YouTube. I play games, stuff like that. But when it actually comes to how the things work, I've got no idea. I'm sorry. You'd probably have to take it to a shop, get someone with an IT degree or something like that to look at it. Because unfortunately, mate, I have no idea. I wish I could help you. If I could, I would. Frank Garbo said, do a complete Let's Play of Dragon Age. Yeah, I've started looking into Dragon Age, as I said earlier. I'm looking into it. It does look good. It's just that era. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. I get bored quite easily when I watch stuff like with that sort of, I don't know, that sort of way of speech. I don't know, I just get bored quite easily. But the game is definitely interesting. I've looked at a few of the cutscenes as well, and some of the gameplay, and I can see myself getting into it. I just think I might have to give myself a push. And finally, whoa, JDude281 has a massive question. Whew. This is not mine, this is an opinion I have found someone else posted on another site. Alright, okay, well, if you guys want to find out what JDude281 said, feel free to go on last week's video, because there is a lot of stuff there. A lot of stuff, and it will take me quite a long time to read, and a lot of it I'll probably butcher. But basically, it's a paraphrase. I looked through this a while back, just like quickly skimmed over it. But this is basically someone else's opinion on what they think the game is going to be. But there's already a few holes I saw in it, like the fact that it said it's set 50 to 100 years in the future. The only thing I can think of that is, how is that possible? Because at the end of Mass Effect 3, you've got 7 different outcomes, but 3 choices to make. And whatever you chose then would have to be relevant throughout the entire of Mass Effect 4. And that basically means they'd have to make 4 different games. That's not 4 different choices. Like, there's 3 different games. That wouldn't be Mass Effect 4 and there's a choice that's affected something. It would affect the whole game. So essentially they'd have to make 3 Mass Effect 4s, which I think they're very unlikely to do. I think that's why they said it's going to take place like either at the past or maybe at the present, like just before the Reapers or something like that. I don't know, but I think that's why they said it's going to be something completely different. If you set it in the future, then you kind of they're going to have to make 3 games for each one of the outcomes. So yeah, but yeah, if you want to read the whole extent of what JDude281 said, you can go back to last week's video. It's got a section of just an opinion he found of somebody else posted on the site about potentially what you could see in Mass Effect 4. But as I say, you want to take it with a grain of salt, because a lot of this stuff, quite often, is just a wish list. It's just what they would like. How much of it's actually doable is something completely separate. But with that being done, that is everything done and dusted. for this episode of Captain Quarters. If there is anything you guys want to ask me, anything you want to know, or anything you just want to say, feel free to leave it in the comment section below. And if there's any questions that I've answered that you guys also want to give your input in, then feel free to leave that in the comment section below. I love finding out what you guys think about some of the stuff that's happened in any of my walkthroughs or anything that I've said. I like to get your feedback. That's the whole reason why I do these Captain's Quarters things, is so we can almost get like a conversation going. But with that being done, that is all done and dusted. And until next week, my name's Captain Dave. This has been the Captain's Quarters, and I'll catch you guys later.